There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
I know what he's saying, but it's not as, I guess, whatever you want to think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this channel. Okay, so let's get to it. So Donald Trump went on was being interviewed by Laura Ingraham from Fox News, and he stated that America lacks certain talents, which he is somewhat correct, because for some reason we are falling in the education field. Most of our children are not getting the proper education. And I blame this all on unions and others like Democrats, but I digress. So it's not being taken serious, and now our kids are failing. And so you need talent to develop certain things. AI is coming into the picture, digital currency. These things are important. So I get what President Trump is saying about, bringing in talent that we need to help America succeed. Okay. And this video is not going to be long, because I think after you understand this, I think most of you will see, where I'm coming from. And now remember, this is just my perspective on what I think is happening. So, the MAGA base is a little, disappointed, because they opposed the H-1B visas because it allegedly suppresses American wages and displaces domestic workers. Okay. However, I think that once again we are lacking the education that we need, because if you notice, most of the foreigners come to these colleges and universities and they are killing it in the school, while native born Americans here, they are not keeping up. They are not keeping up with the curriculums, and they are not choosing the kind of fields that is needed so that America can lead. But President Trump has made it a little more tougher. So for those MAGA people out there, my people out there, because I'm a MAGA, I just want to say that even though he does believe that we need to bring in talent, and I agree with that, but there should be a limit, I would say. And he did make it tougher for companies to hire, like Silicon Valley, which 40% of their workers, I believe it's over 40%, or maybe 40% of their workers are all foreign, because it's hard to find American-born people here that can do some of the things that most foreigners can do. Okay, but he did make it tougher for companies to hire foreigners using the H-1B visas. So here's the policy under Trump: $100,000 annual fee, which will be imposed So Trump signed a proclamation adding a steep annual fee for H-1B visa holders, making it significantly more expensive for companies to hire foreign talent. So please remember that. You tell me a company that want to hire 6, 8, 10 foreign employees and pay 100,000 using the H-1B visas and then pay 100,000 a year for each individual. It's very expensive. I don't even think they want to spend 100,000. So that's one. Reduce cap and lottery odds. The administration proposed changes to the H-1B lottery system, favoring higher paid applicants and reducing chances for entry level or academic roles. Push for domestic upskilling. Despite acknowledging talent gaps, Trump emphasized that people have to learn, suggesting a preference for training Americans over importing expertise. That's the problem. Okay. Now, like I said, we want to hire Americans because this is America and we should invest in our people first before we invest outside. However, we are lacking the talent, the skills to help America compete with places like China, Japan, South Korea, Europe, all those places. We are starting to lack it. And I guess Democrats, we're into this this cultural, I guess, I wouldn't even know. Yeah, I would call it a cultural phenomenon where we are more into our feelings and we care about the climate and we care about genders and what do we call each other, and we're creating degrees on stuff like African American studies and other whimsical classes that make no sense, as I just don't see it helping Americans make America great. We are actually destroying the education system, destroying our way of life, and coming up with some of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. And this is where now, why we are so dependent on the government to help us out with our hands out, is because we are not educating ourselves. So Trump is 100% right. We need to educate ourselves. We need to have companies offer programs where people can go to school or trade school, whatever, and learn the skills needed so that they could work at a Silicon Valley. Because think about it, the foreign workers that use the H-1B visas are the ones creating AI. Okay, and AI is starting to replace certain job fields where humans used to do it, but now AI can do it. My goodness. You be on the phone, you think you're talking to somebody, and it's AI you're talking to. So really think about that, okay?
The king of MAGA had a very interesting interview with Laura Ingraham right here. And the patriots of MAGA aren't very happy. You want to know why? Take a listen.
Does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put.
So you heard that. You need to bring in certain people with certain talents. They're just like, wait, we've got talents. We're Americans. We're the greatest nation on this planet. Everyone in our nation is intelligent, more intelligent than all these aliens around the world. Yeah, we're the only humans on this planet. Yeah? And Trump was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You can't just get someone who's coming from unemployment to go into a factory to make bombs, to make certain things, batteries and stuff. You need someone with talent to teach these people how to work and properly manage these factories. She was like, but when we were kids, how did we do it when we were kids? Trump was like, hey, you're being naive. You're being very naive. You need to be realistic. You know what? I think she brought it up because Trump plans to bring in 600,000 Chinese students into America, who will pay, of course, high tuition fees to these universities. He said, otherwise, if we don't have international students, these universities will go bust. Half of them will be gone. Then she was like, so what? I'm like, these are your educational institutions. You're like, so what? I never thought I'd actually be siding with Trump. Trump is right. I'm sorry, he's right. Poor MAGA. They thought Trump was going to make an isolated nation. No legal aliens, no illegal aliens, just pure Americans. Yeah? Keep it purely Americans. No immigration, nothing. Yeah? Little do they know, in an international world with international markets and economies, there's going to be trade. There's going to be movement. There's going to be migration. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Yeah? And Trump figured that out finally. Finally, it clicked. Sorry, MAGA. But it looks like MAGA is splitting now because even their king knows the importance of immigration. Legal immigration, I mean. So, sorry, guys. It is what it is.
But we take in trillions of dollars from students. You know, the students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive. But at the same time, I know you and I disagree.
Yeah.
We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people.
He said the main word right there, Pat. When it comes to Trump, it's business. Period.
Well, I'll turn it over to you guys. Let me just say one thing. She seems more MAGA than Trump in this interview, does she not?
I don't think he has any idea what's going on here. Like the vast majority of student or college income doesn't come from students paying to go there. It comes from the endowments. But I had the perfect idea to fix this. So 93% of student loans come from the government. Why do we give kids loans to just go and take any major? Why aren't those loans contingent upon the majors and jobs that the country needs? Like, if we have a shortage in, say, AI skills, why not just make student loans applicable only to people who are going to major in AI and not give somebody a loan to major in, like
gender
studies, art, graphic design, or like interior design, whatever stuff that is oversaturated? Why not just make it depend on if you're going to do something that's useful and that's needed in the country? If the government's the main provider of student
what a
loans.
logical point.
So you heard what he just said. And it makes a lot of sense. Most of the students, they get government loans, and then they go take some of the classes that really it's not going to help America grow. You know, interior design, psychology, like I said, African American studies, gender understanding. There's some classes where it's like gender something, but I think he has a point. If you want to be successful, then we should put out loans for people that's taking certain classes. For instance, like I stated earlier, and as you heard in the video, AI is becoming the biggest thing here. You don't even know. Sometimes you're on the phone. I'm worried. Am I really talking to a human being or AI? And I always ask that question: are you real? Because AI sounds real. And that's foreigners working for you to experience this. But we should have Americans doing this. And so he's right. We need to teach Americans how to do this because it's as if we don't want to take the hard courses. We want to take the easy course and then say, I have a college degree. But this college degree goes nowhere, really. Okay. So we really need to take this serious, and we really need to start having our kids invest their time and energy in taking up major courses that really will benefit America. That is the truth. And I don't know why, most people understand this, and liberals really need to get on the train here because our kids are being dumbed down big time. I mean, can't even read or do math at grade level. So as much as I want Trump to say he's just going to invest in Americans, he's right. We have no choice. We must invest outside, bring in people to help keep America afloat because if not, we're going to be at the bottom. So he is 100% correct.
For the record, I agree with the sentiment. I think you should hire American. I think you should make sure that the American people are employed. But there is nuance to this conversation because you cannot deny that the tech industry and even the healthcare industry, are held up by Indian immigrants, by South Asian immigrants. So many people come over from that part of the world, especially for the tech industry. And sure, while it would maybe be ideal to hire American and keep those jobs here, there are just not enough skilled American workers to fill those jobs, especially with AI development that's happening so very rapidly. And the main reason for that is, I will tell you, as someone whose parents are from India, in India, main concentration, the main thing that people major in when they go to college is computer science, is engineering, is coding. Whereas here, it is not the case. People do not, 95% of people don't major in that. Whereas in India, they do, which is why there are just more number of Indian immigrants qualified to do that job than there are American people. And this is where further nuance comes in, right? Because, okay, so you tell every company $100,000 per H-1B visa, where previously it was costing them $2,000. That is a 5,000% increase in cost. And as we know, companies, big businesses, are greedy as fuck. So they're not going to pay that. They're just going to move their facilities abroad where it's cheaper. So there has to be more than just banning the H-1B visas. Because here's the thing. If you hire the H-1B worker here, that money is still staying inside the U.S. economy. Yes, that person might be sending some back to India, but for the most part, that person's living here, they're working here, they have their family, they're making their new family and new home here. They're spending all their money here in the U.S. But you ban H-1B visas, companies move their facilities abroad, you lose all of that money as well. So there has to be not just the banning of the H-1B visas. If they really wanted to make sure companies are hiring American, there has to be more than just banning the visas. There has to be some restrictions on the companies moving abroad. But then that becomes government overreach, right? It's a system that's failing. The whole system is failing.
So yes, I'm 100%. Well, I'm a true MAGA. I support this president, and I do believe that we need to invest in America. However, the truth is we do not have well-educated Americans that want to take up and want to be educated in the tech field. Like I said, they want to do hotel management. They want to get a degree in hotel management, African American studies, gender understanding, or whatever they want to call that. All these other courses, but nobody's taking up tech industry. Even down into the hospitals. If you notice, the Philippines dominate the nursing industry. The Asians, which would be China, India, and these places, they are dominating the tech industry. And that's because they go to school, they get educated, they clear their minds of all the other nonsense that us Americans continue engaging in, and they learn this stuff. So when I hear black people talk about, the white man holding me back and all this other nonsense, I laugh. And I laugh at people like Roland Martin and all of them who sit here and just keep dumbing blacks down so that they can continue being fools, while everybody else from other parts of this planet are learning the skills needed to compete with other countries. AI is the thing of the future. Digital currency is the thing of the future. We need smart, educated people that can compete with other countries and help lead America into this new realm, and stop sitting here crying about my feelings and, dressing up weird. And a man says he's a woman says he's a man. We are like really losing, we're really losing the battle here. We're taking our eyes off the prize, and we're focused on some of the dumbest things possible. I don't care what you want to be. I don't care who you love. If I want to love a man, if I want to love a woman, that's my business. I don't care. However, I do want us to be well educated and to be able to handle those tech jobs so that we can invest in Americans, reduce the number of foreigners applying for H-1B visas, reduce those numbers so that companies, corporations can hire well-educated Americans. Because at this point, what they're looking for, we cannot supply. And that is the truth. Guys, thank you. It was great talking about this. And I hope to see you guys around. Please remember, like, subscribe, share this channel. You can also see more as I will be getting ready to do a live video talking about, why people hate Trump. I would definitely love to know. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of other things. So please keep your eyes open and be ready for my live feed. And I can't wait to see you guys. Okay, until then, peace.